The Saga of Odin. Transcribed by Anna Zubkova. Editor of the Russian version, Vladimir Antonov. Translated into English by Keenan Murphy, Anton Topli, and Vladimir Antonov. Narrated by Nicholas. This saga was narrated by Odin, who incarnated himself on the earth in ancient times, and who takes care of the Scandinavian lands, and other lands as well. The particles of the eternal knowledge about the purpose of human life on earth, about the multidimensionality of the worlds beyond the material world, about what is truly ethical, about earthly love, and about the divine love, are interwoven into the plot of this saga. May these stories and images manage to transmit the tenderness and power of the divine depths to the readers who will try to experience delight and the love of the Creator of the entire universe behind the words and images of events. This book is intended for a wide array of readers. Chapter 1. The Girl and the Lord of the Lake. We are sitting together, divine Odin and I, hugging each other and uniting ourselves as souls. Even though he doesn't have a material body right now, while I have one, this does not hinder our communication in any way. Many legends are related to the name of this divine teacher, who has looked after the Scandinavian lands throughout the centuries. Many generations of people have honored his wisdom and power. So we are both together, Odin and I. I am listening to his words. I answer him. I ask him questions, and I listen to his responses and explanations. His divine body, the body of the spirit, consists of light. He can condense this light, and his appearance becomes more defined in this way, so that one can see his locks of hair, his eyelashes, his bright eyes that radiate love and calm, his soft and tender smile, and his strong arms. In a blink of an eye, he can make himself younger or show his appearance saturated with the great divine power, with beard and hair as white as snow, and wavy hair that covers his shoulders. His great power is connected with the ocean of power of the one primordial consciousness. His agile body of light is much bigger than the material body of a person. This body of light can become giant and extend itself for kilometers, or it can dissolve itself in the transparency of the calm of the one ocean. He can recreate this body anywhere in the world, and even in many places simultaneously. Odin shows me, within a tender light that is similar to a golden mist, the vivid images of the stories that he wants to tell us with my help, my dear readers. I understand that today Odin did not come to just visit me for a moment, which means that it is now time for him to tell his stories, those which he has meaning to tell me for a long time. The three-dimensional images of the northern beauty of cliffs and rocks covered in moss and lichen, of crystalline lakes amidst thick forests, of fields and a small farmhouse close to a lake, open before me. I see people dressed in ancient Finnish clothing. It seems as if this image is getting closer, and the words of Odin begin to sound. A small Finnish farmhouse was located near a forest lake. Here there lived a family, a husband, a wife, and their small daughter. And above this lake, and beneath this lake, and around this lake, and afar, there lived the divine lord of the lake. He was big, like a mountain, and consisted of the light of love, care, and tenderness. This light easily permeated both the land and the air, and was very subtle, so that not everyone was able to see it. The divine lord of the lake was the lord of not just this small lake and the forest around it, but also, like all other divine souls, he was lord of all the earth and could appear and disappear in his body of light anywhere. However, he still had his favorite places where he always stayed. In this way, he lived close to this small lake together with people, trees, grass, small fish, birds, and other wild and domestic animals, filling all the space with his light of love. The adults could not perceive the lord of the lake at all, but a girl, while she was very small and still could not speak, was able to see him. Some very young children very often can see that which exists on the non-material plane. This happens because they themselves have recently lived in these worlds, in the same way as do the souls who do not have material bodies right now. However, after these children grow up, they forget their ability to see with the soul. They lose it because they stop using it. This happens since none of the adults explain to the children that it is possible to do this. On the contrary, parents teach their children to live among material objects, and if children tell them something extraordinary, adults say that all of this is just a fantasy. Without a doubt, it is very important to teach a small person to use his or her body in the material world. That is, to walk, to talk, to look using the eyes of the body, and many other things. Losing the ability to see with the soul is a good thing if this soul is weak, because otherwise the non-material worlds will only frighten this person. Nor will this vision be favorable for the souls who came to incarnate having coarse qualities that were formed in the past, because such souls will only be able to perceive infernal beings, which can in no way benefit these incarnate souls. However, the ability to see can help a subtle and strong soul to learn more quickly. Adults do not know this, because they themselves forgot about this possibility long ago. Well, maybe not all adults, but the large majority of them unlearned the ability to perceive the surrounding world with the soul without using their bodily organs. And our Ainu, which was the name of the girl, growing up, also began to lose her ability to see in the world of the divine light, since no one could explain to her that this world is a reality. She began to gradually forget that the soul has eyes that can see much more than the eyes of the body. She did not have time to understand that a soul, which is developing correctly, can also listen and speak without pronouncing words. The soul can speak the language of the spiritual heart. The parents of Ainu did not tell her anything about such possibilities, since they themselves did not know how to see or listen in this way. In spite of this, Ainu did not lose the ability to feel everything around her with the spiritual heart and the ability to love everything. That's why she always felt joy and tenderness when she went to the lake, even though it was the Lord of the Lake who was helping her to experience these states. The Lord of the Lake loved the little Ainu very much. The girl frequently played on the sandy shore. There, magical tales and marvelous stories always came to her mind. Ainu did not know that it was the Lord of the Lake who was telling her them using the language of the souls. When she retold these stories to her parents, they called her a daydreamer and an inventor. Also, one time, it happened that the Lord of the Lake saved the girl by teaching her how to swim. This happened as follows. Ainu went to get water from the lake. The bucket was very big, and Ainu could only lift and carry half of it. She bent down on the pier to collect the water, but accidentally picked up more than she could lift. The weight of the bucket pulled her, and she fell into the water. She was very scared, because the adults always told her that, when swimming, she should not go very deep so that she doesn't drown. And in this place close to the pier, it was very deep for her size. Ainu began to sink out of fear, even though the shore was very close. In this same moment, the Lord of the Lake was able to calm her. He made a small female duck with her ducklings swim near her. The girl, after seeing such nice ducklings, forgot about her fear. The mother duck decided to leave, and the ducklings followed her, moving their legs so fast that they almost ran on the water. Ainu saw how the little ones were kicking quickly, and that they did not sink for this reason. So, she began to move her arms and legs quickly, and soon reached a shallower place, where she could stand on the sandy bottom. One time, Ainu fell asleep on the shore and saw the Lord of the Lake. It even seemed to her that she recognized him. After all, he lulled her to sleep when she was very young, and she always felt very good in his arms that consisted of light. And so it happened that, upon awakening, she did not stop seeing him. Her eyes of the soul had opened. Even though it seemed impossible, the Lord of the Lake began to talk tenderly with her. "Hello, Ainu. Do not be afraid of me. I am the divine Lord of this lake. I have known you for a long time, and I love you very much. Do you remember the stories that came to your mind when you played on the shore? It was I who played with you in those times. And later, when you were about to drown, it was I who taught you how to swim." From then on, Ainu was able to see the Lord of the Lake and converse with him. She asked him questions, and he always answered her. In addition, he taught Ainu to live in a happy, sunny, and golden world where everything responds to love with love. She would wake up in the morning and greet everyone and everything with her joy. Then she would walk along a trail towards the lake, and on the path she would say, "I greet you, forest. Good morning, giant pines. I thank you for your songs, dear little birds. Flowers and grass with dew, you are so beautiful. I greet you, my friend, Lord of the Lake." The entire world around her responded to her with joy and love, and the Lord of the Lake hugged her with his tender and transparent arms, and smiled to her with a radiant smile. Some time passed, and Ainu grew and became a very beautiful girl. One day, the parents of Ainu decided, as they always did each month, to go to the city to sell milk, cheese, and butter, and to buy what they lacked on their farm. The Lord of the Lake told Anu, "Try to convince them to not go to the city this month. If not, this can end badly." Anu pleaded with all her strength for her parents to cancel their trip, but they ignored her, saying, "How can you not understand, Anu? The milk will become sour and we will not get any money." Anu had long ago stopped trying to tell them about the Lord of the Lake, because they only laughed at her words, saying that she had already grown up, but was still fantasizing. When the parents returned, both became seriously ill. Anu tried to cure them, but each time they only got worse. So she became very frightened and went to see a medicine woman. The medicine woman came, but did not even enter the house or look at the sick. She said that in the city an epidemic of a very dangerous disease had begun, and that many people were dying with great suffering. Then the medicine woman burned some herbs, ordered Anu to repeat certain incantations, and said that the disease was very contagious and mortally dangerous, so Anu should not even go near her sick parents. However, Anu continued taking care of them. Despite all her efforts, her parents died several days later, spending all this time in pain and agony. Anu grieved and was so frightened by the disease of her parents that she stopped seeing the Lord of the Lake and listening to his words. She forgot about him, and it did not even occur to her to ask for his advice and his help. She stopped seeing him because the worlds of the divine light are not visible from the worlds where despair, sadness, fear, anger, or other similar states reign. Anu only felt the Lord of the Lake again when she buried the bodies of her parents and came to rest on the shore of the lake. The Lord of the Lake tenderly embraced her with his calm and care and said to her, "One should never cry for those who have abandoned their bodies, for they did not die at all. Look, here are your parents. They see me, and they see you." The parents of Anu were close to them in their non-material bodies, and appeared to be younger and more beautiful than they were in their final years of life. They addressed the Lord of the Lake. "O Great One, will you take care of our Anu? She is completely alone." "I will try," the Lord of the Lake answered them, and smiled in response. The parents told their beloved daughter some comforting words about how good they feel there in this new world. Then they hugged her and started walking away on a path covered in resplendent grass. "Look where they will live," said the Lord of the Lake. And so Anu saw in the distance a house on a hill and a meadow in which cows and horses grazed. Over there, the birds were singing everywhere. All of this was not material, but nevertheless it was filled with homely comfort and tranquility. The Lord of the Lake continued, "You should not try to hold on to them, Anu. They will rest much better in the clear and pure worlds than being close to you all the time. However, if you remember them with joy, they will feel this and will visit you. They were good people in general. They lived in calm and care for each other and for you, and they learned cordial love, even though this love was not perfect in all aspects. Their life will be peaceful and cheerful until each of them will be born again in a new body." Anu stayed seated for a long time on the shore of the lake. Her great friend did not say anything to her, but each wave of his light washed away traces of her sadness. Anu asked, Why have I not seen you all these days? Where were you?" "I was here nearby, but you were so scared and afflicted that you did not notice me. It took me a lot of effort to protect you from the disease." It was not possible to help your parents. Their time for parting had arrived. "Are you saying that a person cannot change his or her destiny?" "Sometimes one can. The destiny depends on the past lives of the soul and on those decisions that one takes in the present. Do you remember when you, being very, very small, told your parents that one should not kill and eat chicken, geese, and lambs, and that it is not necessary to eat meat to be healthy? Although they loved their domestic animals and took care of them, they continued killing and eating them. They did not heed your words at that time. You yourself always followed this advice of mine, while they refused to do so. For this reason, they underwent so much suffering before they died. The pain caused to others always returns to the one who caused it. The pain returns to one's destiny, to the destiny in this earthly life, or in the life of one's next incarnation in the material world. Tell me, is it only possible to see with the soul into the worlds of light? No, but I do not want to teach you, without necessity, to see the worlds of grey sadness and tears, nor to speak about the worlds of the cruel darkness. I do not wish for anyone to live in these worlds. It is for this reason that the absence of the ability to see the non-material beings that inhabit these wretched worlds is a good thing for those souls who are not subtle yet. One must become a strong and wise soul to be able to see in these dark worlds without becoming afraid and without dirtying oneself from the contact with the beings who live there, which can happen, for example, when one is helping those who are sick. So then, can you teach me to heal diseases? In this case, I could help many people understand what I understand right now. I will not be afraid, because I know the love and the power of your light. All right, Anu. From that moment on, the Lord of the Lake began to teach Anu the art of healing, and she began to help people by healing their diseases and explaining their causes. She also explained how to eliminate these causes in oneself. In addition, she discovered the healing properties of plants and different methods of healing that can be done with the help of infusions made from these plants, as well as with the help of the subtlest light, which the Lord of the Lake taught her to feel and to direct in order to heal someone. In this way, the young healer became very famous in that area. Soon, the times grew restless and war came to these lands. One day, a large detachment of soldiers passed near the house of Anu. They stayed to rest in the farmhouse and took all the reserves of cheese, flour, and nuts. The head of these soldiers was young, strong, and very handsome. He liked Anu, and he ordered his soldiers, "This woman will be mine. Don't you dare touch her, or even kiss her or hug her. When we return victorious, I will marry her, and when we visit this place next time, I will give her many beautiful jewels of gold and silver. She will share with me as my wife all my new lands." Anu asked in astonishment, "Maybe first you would like to know if I want to be your wife." "It is enough that I want this," replied the chief with arrogance. The soldiers marched out the next day, leaving the farmhouse completely sacked. They returned 3 months later, or, better said, only some wounded and mutilated ones returned carrying the almost dead body of their chief on a stretcher. They said, "We will leave him with you. He wanted to be your husband. If he survives, you will be able to marry him or have him work for you. We cannot carry him any longer." Anu asked the Lord of the Lake to help her heal this warrior. His name was Richard. She liked him, even from their first meeting. His strength at that time attracted her, but she did not like his arrogance. But now, when he was nearby, weakened by his wounds, the heart of Anu shuddered from compassion and ignited with true love. She recalled how unattractive Richard was during their first encounter. However, love changes people. Richard fell in love with Anu during his first visit, and he still loved her now, recovering from serious wounds thanks to her care, and learning to love. He began to understand that love does not mean to possess a woman, but that it is the ability to live together in harmony, giving joy and happiness to one another. Anu cured Richard by healing his body and soul. The Lord of the Lake helped her to do this. Richard and Anu became husband and wife. One day the Lord of the Lake asked Anu, "Would you like to give me a new body? You and Richard could become the parents of a child in whom I would incarnate a part of me. There are so many afflictions and calamities on the earth. I would like to help people, but for this I need to obtain a material body. Through you two, I could become the person who would bring the divine knowledge to the earth and re-establish the divine laws for a righteous existence." So, after some time, Anu and Richard had a son. They named him Olav. However, not everything in this incarnation turned out to be as easy as one might imagine. He had to pass through many trials on the earth before he came to know about his divine predestination and was able to fulfill it.